Are you measuring God's ability by your situation? Welcome. My name is Reverend Steve Onguko, and this is In the Word for the World. This indeed is the last episode of our series, God's Provision, that you have been looking through. For the least, actually, it's the 12th one. We have been looking through God's provision and trying to learn how does God's blessing and His provision align, and how can we attain it in our life. And today we conclude by asking ourselves the pertinent questions. Are you measuring God's ability by your situation? And we were looking at the book of Philippians chapter 4 and verse 19, where Paul gives a personal testimony and says, and my God shall. So we looked at and my God as a personal testimony, and we look at shall, saying that which we are hoping and trusting in God, that which we are looking forward God to do, it is not a matter of probability, but is a matter of certainty that indeed shall. And that's why Paul uses the word shall. And today we look that he provides this, he gives us and he provides all this, not from a place just, from a random place, according to his riches in glory in Jesus Christ. In other words, Paul is granting us this some powerful truth that God provides according to his riches and not according to my or your limitations. We are limited beings. We are human beings. That's why we were created by God. That which we create, it's limited to us who created it. And so we are limited being. And so when Paul is saying that, it's saying it provide, and God shall provide according to his his riches in glory. It doesn't. It means God doesn't give from a scarcity where He gives little and saves some. Scarcity. No, God, He doesn't understand what scarcity is all about. Scarcity is not of God. Leftovers are not of God. Limitation, God has no limit. It says, according to his riches in glory. In other words, we cannot fathom, we cannot imagine, we cannot think about the riches of God. In fact, we cannot even audit because it is so much, it's so vast that we cannot each limit it, and we cannot even comprehend his riches in his glory. So what Paul basically means is that his supply is not strained. That we don't need to think how our situation overwhelming him. Our needs overwhelming him. We are not overwhelming God. That sometimes we think, oh God, I can help you here and there, or I can do this. No, we actually not overwhelming God. Think of a billionaire. When a billionaire give you 100 bob or 1,000 bob, it is nothing to them. Now imagine of God whose resources are unlimited. They are not limited. They are limitless. They are not limited because we serve a God beyond limits. A God who operates outside limits. So imagine if a billionaire gives you 1,000 bob or 100 bob and it feels nothing to them. What about God? He's limited. Even that billion to God, it is nothing to him. So that which is limited to us is nothing to him. So your need is not a burden to God. Paul says he shall supply all that we need according to his riches to God. And so our perspective of God determines our expectation from him. Our perspective of God determines our expectation from him. God is the provider. God is the sustainer. God gives all that we need. God gives all that we desire. All we just need to do is to have a right perspective of this God according to his riches that is not limited. And so my question to you is this: do you truly believe God is able? Someone sang and say, God is able to do that what he says he will do. Do you believe and do you trust that God is able to provide? Whether it's big, whether it's small, God is the provider. And so it's my prayer that will expand our visions and a prayer that God will expand our vision and help us to see how limitless he is, and for us to trust Him completely to provide and to be the provision for our life. I pray this series has blessed you. I pray this series has reminded you that God is not the last option. He is our resource. God bless you and God keep you. And thank you for always tuning in and listening. Please make sure if you're blessed, share this with others so that also they can be blessed too. God bless you and have a great time.